So, tell me what we're going to talk about today.
Today on Keepin the Geek Bros, episode 99.7, we've got Xbox Series X backwards compatibility. EA postpones Madden NFL 21, revealing national-wide protests against police violence. Tweets from Sony's PlayStation 5 and IGN's gaming events delays. Game Gear Micro announced for Sega's 60th anniversary. Ruby Rose said she stayed silent for now about why she left Batwoman. Mark Hamill came out of voice acting retirement to play Skeletor for Masters of the Universe. HBO Max is a mess. Central Park official trailer review. What we know now so far about Peacock's new Battlestar Galactica series. Pokemon Battle Academy turns trading card game into a board game. Oh, that's gonna be fun. One Japanese bus company's solution to traveling in the COVID-19 era. And Space Force series review. All this and more in this week's episode of Keeping Up the Geek Bros, a family podcast. Allegedly. Stay tuned.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.
Yes. Keep it on the Geek Bros podcast. I'm your host, Vibe, and with me, my fellow co-hosts,
Darth Flex,
Garbanzo,
and Raz.
Before we get to today's topics, Darth Flex, you on the move, gentlemen, tell these fine people where to find us on social media.
Absolutely. You beautiful listeners. First of all, hope you're all staying safe, all things considered. You can find us at Instagram and Twitter at Geek Bros with a 0. That's GEEKBR0S. And I know a lot of you are staying home, so you can also check out some cool posts and some funny stuff on Facebook at facebook.com/geekbros with a 0. And also, again, probably staying home, throw on your Xbox, put on some YouTube. You can check us out on youtube.com/RevRevStudios. That's VABEREVSTUDIOS to check out this beautiful collection of Corona-free men.
Allegedly.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly. Well, I don't know. I've been tested 6 times as of yesterday. So
have you? I've been tested 4 times, but I freaking hate it.
It's ridiculous, man. It's getting ridiculous. But the first place to find the Geek Bros.
The first
place.
Corona.
WeBeGeeksPC.com.
And I do recommend you guys should check us out on youtube.com/Vibe Studios. The video recaps, they're becoming more and more fun, and as this podcast becomes more and more a long web series than it is a podcast, so you should check it out. It's a lot of fun, a lot of screen shares from me, and you get a glimpse at our intro and stuff. So we'll get to today's topics, comments and questions from you, the audience. So we're gonna scroll down. I actually have some stuff this time because I took the time out because I care. On our on our YouTube channel, as youtube.com/Vibe Studios, we have comments from episodes 99.6. Man says, as I am, No Man's Sky for the win, eventually buying an Xbox of my own. Sent another long email with comments, and he sent an email before, and I didn't get that, but I'm going to read both of the emails. And then Squeezy Bits, who will be on later, says, yo, I'm down for some No Man's Sky. So it looks like, guys, we got a 5-man group here. We can all just commit in June to play at least one day. Squeezy Bits! We just read your comment.
Sure.
If we can all commit to like just one evening, I'd like to say a week, in addition to the podcast, to play some No Man's Sky, and then it'd be great, at least for a month, and throw that stuff out there and put it up on some mixer or something. I'm just saying. Nothing Twitter. We do have the emails. So he sent an email, Man. Appreciate you. Regarding episodes 99.5. He goes, hello, gents. He goes, free Garbanzo. Of course, that refers to Garbanzo being locked in a cellar for the last episode or 2 episodes ago. He says, free Garbanzo. I'm emailing not because I'm looking for free stuff, liar, but I'll take it anyway. Just sharing my thoughts once again. He said, you guys have sold it to me. Near Automata. Yes. What did I tell you? What did I tell you, Roz? We've been doing this to our audience. You guys sold me a Near Automata. He'll be my next game. It's been on my want to pay the list for a while, and maybe my own Xbox. LOL. I agree with Roz on Dragon Age Inquisition. That is the reason that made me put that down. DA Origins was amazing, and DA 2 was a letdown. Tushima would be a great game. I could wait to get it when the price drops. I'll wait to get it when the price drops. I'm also making my way through Assassin's Creed games, and I plan on finishing before Valhalla's release. I also share the strong dislike for the lack of effort in the textures in some of these games. We supposedly have these new updated game engines for visual quality of games. I'm not looking forward to Robert Pattinson as the Batman. I fear that it'll do to the franchise. I fear what it'll do to the franchise. It better not be like Batman and Robin. So that was his email for episode 99.5. Episode for 99.6. Hello, gents. My apologies for the last email. It was for 99.5 because in his subject said 99.6. I jumped the gun before 99.6. Nice to finally see Squeezy Bits make an appearance. Squeezy Bits. See, there you go. And Disney.
Right?
And Disney is about balance of the Force. Fresh Scent. I will sadly say that in my opinion, most tactic style games suck. So I would I wouldn't be surprised of the failure of the Dark Crystal game. Question of the day. He says, I don't see canon to be an issue for a good story. As an unbiased individual, when it comes to watching some movies and shows, as long as the story that is being told is good and meshes well with whatever canon is portrayed, I'm pleased. Canon is important to storylines that require it. Look what happened to X-Men and Spider-Man. How many original stories are we going to get that weren't even the actual origin story? Or to not be able to say mutant instead of enhanced with the same comic book universe. Even though that was a rights fight, that fight ruined very canon comic book stories. They are getting better except for X-Men. This is probably the reason why the New Mutants is going to be the silver screen rather than streaming. To give the fans hope and inspiration that it isn't a dead series and will break the box office numbers. Well, I don't think so. Of course, with the new normal life we are all living, with the riots and high profanity of high probability of a second outbreak, streaming might be the better choice in these uncertain times. Squeezy Bits picks. He says Final Fantasy 4. Sorry, I blanked. I'm sorry. I wanted to say IV. I'm just like, what am I doing? Excuse me, picks Final Fantasy 4, Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Cross, and Mario RPG and Zelda games in these best times. Because we were asking what games we always go back to. So basically for him, it's Final Fantasy 4, Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Cross, Mario RPG, which is the stuff, and Zelda games. Which the only one I ever played was the one with the big egg. Well, no, I mean Game Boy wise, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The one with the egg. It was a dream world all along.
Are you talking about The Legend of Zelda?
Link's Awakening.
No, yeah. Link's Awakening. Yeah, there you go. Link's Awakening. All right. In these current times, we need more unity and recognition of color. Thanks, Crayola, and for open mic. More Star Wars is great for a wait. Take time to perfect it. So there you go. Thank you, man. You get that's what we're looking for. Really, really dense emails from you guys. So thanks a lot for that. And a lot of what he said actually was pretty good. I would take time to respond to each one, but we have a long. That's what she said. Thing. So we're gonna move on. Thank you, man. You're the best. Appreciate it. And you do get a prize. So you need to, what I'm going to do is, I have no idea. I guess send you back an email with a list of everything we have, and you just choose, and we'll send it to you. So moving on, gents, anything to report? Flex. Let's go with Flex.
Yes, I finished watching Space Force. I played Ace Combat 6 for the first time in my life. It was actually kind of fun.
Was that because Space Force inspires you to?
No, it was like just first on my Game Pass list, so I just figured why not. And I convinced my girlfriend to beat Metal Slug X with me last night, so that was cool too.
And that game is a multiplayer?
It is, yeah. It is.
Oh, then I'm downloading it.
It's a fun game. I mean, it's designed to take your quarters, but since it's on Xbox Game Pass, you get an infinite credits.
It's free.
I do recommend it. I played that game since I was a child. PS2. I used to love those games. It's just a fun little side-scroller shooter. It's pretty cool. Other than that, nothing. Just working. I started school. Been doing research and stuff as best as I can because my labs are probably closed until next week.
Right. Garbanzo.
Brother, it's been just a lot of work. As you guys saw in the last couple podcasts, I've been putting a lot of hours there, and also at a couple different side venues.
You mean the sex dungeon that you were in the other day, right?
Well, listen, you only know because you asked me for a key.
I did ask you for a key. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed at all.
Well, no. Oh my god. But yeah, besides that, it's just get everything ready here at the house, try and enjoy my time that I can with family, that I can get, video chatting with friends whenever I can. And then I look forward to this too, man. So yeah, that's it.
All right, Mr. Roz, anything to report?
Just playing some Yakuza and living in a country that's on fire.
How's Yakuza?
It's really good.
It looked really cool, so I downloaded them.
Fucking Ross. Squeeze
Oh, dude.
This is so funny. Squeezy, anything to report?
Nothing. Just put out 2 reviews on my channel, and one on Space Force and one on episode 10 of Rick and Morty.
Squeezy, you're on fire, man. You're putting out some serious content. Like when I see your post pop up on Facebook, I watch it, I like it, and I'm just like, damn it, I need to start really reinvesting in our web series again because, man, you got me in the feels. But I'm really proud of you, Squeezy Bits. You're doing some really good work.
Thanks.
Good. I love your I call it ADD editing, and I love it because it pops. I love it.
I think it's they call it the YouTube style, or it's good is better than done, or is it done is better than good? So
Correct.
Instead of retaking, you just cut out all the bad stuff and
which is what I tell. If you mess up, keep going. I'll just fade it in. I'll cut it out. But I love the jump cuts. I don't think I could pull that off, but I like it. I like it. All right. So what's going on with Geek Bros? I am editing a brand new intro to fit with the times since it's been 3 months since we actually recorded The Witcher. I have a new idea of how to get it up on YouTube, but then I decided, you know what? Let me edit a montage of what's going on and do like a 3 months prior, like when things were normal and simple. So I'm actually editing that and seeing maybe throw that all together, it'll get up there. So that's really about it per se. I would like to start hoping things will calm down soon and we can start getting to regular recording. But if not, I will be commissioning the Geek Bros to start sending cell phone footage of them reviewing certain things, and we'll just have cell phone web series episodes. Since I'm getting told that even though they love the podcast, I don't actually edit the podcast. I drag and drop and smush it together. They miss the good old processed, edited Geek Bros web series. So they're going to come back somewhere around the line. I know Flex, he'll come over, right? You'll come over and record. All right. So if this is your first time listening to our broadcast, then please take a moment and subscribe or leave a message or leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. If you're watching us, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. YouTube has recently changed its algorithm to favor corporate channels, so independent productions like ours aren't being recommended. They're reducing views and limiting our exposure. So without further ado, episode 99.7 starts now. We're getting into the coronavirus update. COVID-19 is over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So of course I'm bringing this up because all of a sudden masses have hit the streets. For those who are living under a rock, on May 25th, 2020, George Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, died in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after a white police officer pressed his knee to Floyd's neck for almost 9 minutes while Floyd was handcuffed face down in the street. 2 other officers further restrained Floyd. Another stood by to prevent onlookers from intervening. During the last 3 minutes, Floyd was motionless and had no pulse, but officers made no attempt to revive him. Floyd was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. That have in turn led to protests, which has in turn led to riots, which have in turn led to violence, which have led to looting, which have in led to burning down various communities in various states across the country. So the statement "COVID-19 is over," isn't it, is a reflection on the fact that we've all obviously forgotten the pandemic that we're in the middle of and have taken to the streets. And I'm addicted to the TikTok videos of what's going on. People are getting run over. People are smashing things. People are burning things. People are attacking cops. Cops are attacking others. It's violence on both sides, but nobody's practicing social distancing. Half of what I see have no masks on. And even if they did have masks on, they're so close to each other, it doesn't mean anything. How do you guys feel about the concept that now we're focused on rioting, looting, and obviously the media has seemed to have forgotten about COVID, and now they're focusing on that, and in my opinion, propagating more violence because they're calling attention to it. I'll start with Roz, who's itching.
Not really itching to talk about this. It's just really heartbreaking that it had to happen. As far as people forgetting that COVID exists, I don't think anybody's forgotten that COVID exists. I think it's fallen out of being currently in vogue, with media and Americans in general, because we have a very short attention span, and our president decided that it wasn't an issue, a month before it started. So it's kind of difficult to maintain a semblance of, urgency in that environment. But that said, people are protesting for, in my opinion, this isn't anybody else, it's just me, for very good reasons. And they're going out and making their cause heard despite the risks and the dangers, of exposing themselves to COVID or police brutality. So is it over? No, it's not over. It's already begun another uptick. We're already on the way to a second peak, but, priorities are what they are. This is a moment, a rare moment in history where people, were galvanized by a horrible situation, a man being martyred. So you have to take, whatever opportunities are given to you. And unfortunately, those opportunities now come with a risk, but necessity, is what it is.
Gents.
And actually, just to piggyback on that, it's like it does say a lot about the situation and the I guess I don't know whether you can call it either a passion or just desperation, that to the point is that knowing that there is a situation going on, there is a pandemic, that they would rather take the risk than to be silent. Yeah, that says a lot.
Anybody else? Mr. Flex, Squeezy Bits. With the Squeezy Bits.
Yeah, man. I mean,
It's pretty deep,
Roz
man.
pretty much took the. Oh, go ahead. Were we going?
No, go ahead.
Go
Ahead.
I was gonna say Roz pretty much took the words out of my mouth, man. Like you guys know me, like I always answer things like this with, it doesn't really concern me. And again, one more thing is, it's not that I don't understand the seriousness or anything of the situation like that. I absolutely know what's going on, and I think it is a horrible thing, and this actually is affecting me personally, professionally, and I think the biggest thing it started with was with my fraternity. It started bothering them a lot, and I'm always going to be there to help my friends and be there to help people in need. Am I going to go protest? No. Am I going to go post stuff online? No. I don't think that'll do anything for me, at least from just my specific standpoint. But it's just a horrible thing that's happening, and it's happening probably in the worst time. Obviously there's never a good time for this to happen because it shouldn't be happening, but it's just like a double whammy. And hurricane season's coming, so it's even worse. But that's neither here nor there. But I don't know. I think the protests are absolutely necessary. Unfortunately, we have asshole looters that are kind of ruining it for everybody, and it sucks because from what I see in the media, I'll tell you this: the looting absolutely does not paint the narrative of what's happening. But unfortunately, that's how a lot of people are going to take it. They're going to see all this, angry black people or angry minorities. It's very unfortunate that whether or not the media tries to portray it that way, that's how people are going to see it. And I think that's very sad. And it's just, for example, when I was at work, I let you guys know that, I started protesting on one of our campuses. And it started out as a peaceful protest, and it got way out of hand. I don't know, man. It's just a very, very bad situation. And I agree with the protest. Unfortunately, there'll be a lot of assholes on both sides that are going to ruin it for everybody. It should be a good cause, but there's a bunch of dicks that turn a good cause into a bad thing.
Squeeze Bits.
Oh man, it's a pretty deep subject. I mean, all right, my little brother and little sister, they're black, so this really affects me. because like, what is the future for them? You know, like I got lucky that like I'm all Asian, they're like half black, and it's gonna be it really kind of affects me a little differently because I feel like it's gonna be the media is really propelling all the wrong messages right now. It's really just trying to sell newspapers and then fix anything. I don't know. I guess that's just how I feel about it. I have no other opinions on this. The protests are necessary, but so is covering yourself and keeping yourself protected. I wish people would protect themselves a little more because that still is happening. We may be tired of hearing about COVID-19, but it's not tired of trying to occupy us. And the crazy thing is about we also could be getting a little bit fatigued of watching or uncomfortable about watching all the protests happening. But it's time for us to be uncomfortable, for us to make some sort of change, for us to, there's black people can't turn off being black. Like you can turn off the media, but it's time for a change. It's really all I have to say. I don't know what else to say about this.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Any final thoughts, gents, before we move on to today's topics?
Shit, man. Honestly, I don't see any topic nearly as important as this one, but we got to stay on track. But, to jump on something that Flex said, I think it's important for those of us that have a voice and are able to reach other people to post about things on social media, because at the very least, we could help turn somebody else's opinion into a direction that would help the greater good. And staying quiet and keeping your opinions to yourself when they are ostensibly, positive, it doesn't help anybody. That's just the last thing I'll say.
All right. And well said. Well, of course, we will follow what's going on. Hopefully, I would like to say this is the first and last time we discuss this on the podcast, but we'll see what happens as the weeks go on and if there's any change, and hopefully things die down. But my last words are to those who are looting and taking advantage of the situation. How is this justice for George Floyd? How is this justice? How is looting and burning down your own community, your own stores in your area? How is that justice for him? And how does it make any sense for yourself? You're only hurting yourself in your own community. You're doing exactly what those who look down upon you want you to do. You can be better than that, and that's all I can say about that. So we're gonna move on now to the fresh scent.
Fresh scent.
All I see is gray skies on Flex's video feed. I'm like, oh my god. We'll skip the video games out this week because you're not actually indoors yet. Let's move on to, and I want Garbanzo, if you don't mind tackling this, Xbox Series X backwards compatibility. This article comes from Kotaku.com. I don't know if you know anything about it. You don't have to read the article, but if you can touch upon this, because I actually I'm
actually really glad to hear about this. So first, they were talking about first, everyone knows like the Xbox X right now. You can put in one of your old discs, and usually what it'll download the game and just play it, off the hard drive. And for the most part, it actually can be able to actually play the actual physical discs for the 360 as well as the Xbox. And I'm actually super excited about it. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of nice having the backwards compatibility, from honestly, personally speaking.
Oh, actually, there's a rundown here on that article. Games see a significant reduction in game load times. When asked how significant, Microsoft Director Kotaku to a tech demo showing off State of Decay loading on Xbox X Series. They'll support an innovative HDR reconstruction technique that adds HDR to older games that didn't originally have it. Older games will also support Xbox X's new quick resume feature. Oh, I see what that is. Which lets players swap. Oh, that's awesome! You can swap between at least 3 games. So it's kind of like popping out of an app and going into another app.
It keeps the game in memory.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it never pulls it out. And
that's what she said.
The HDR is a huge deal because these games on the 360 and some of the games on the Xbox One not having HDR was just basically part and parcel.
I assume HDR is high definition resolution.
High dynamic range.
High dynamic range. Okay, well, what does that mean then?
So for you cinematographers and photographers, you would know that the high dynamic range is the difference in light gradation between the bright and the dark. So when you go outside and your eyes have to adjust on a camera,
right?
That is called high dynamic range. With your eyes, it's just called, it's too damn bright. But it makes it so the differences between very, very dark shadowed areas and very, very brightly lit areas are much more dynamic. In older games, you weirdly wouldn't have that difference in image quality. If something dark was next to something bright, it would be gray. So with high dynamic range, something dark can be pitch black next to something bright blue like the sky. That's a really big deal, and it really looks very nice on newer TVs that have HDR support.
Yep.
I like it. All right, we're going to move on to Game Gear Micro announced for Sega's 60th year anniversary. This article comes from60th.sega.com/GG Micro. Roz, you're up. What's up? Talk to me about it.
I don't know. It's a tiny Game Gear. Nobody wanted this.
Game Gear was...
Listen, don't get me wrong. I think the Game Gear was dope as shit. It was a Game Boy...
the best thing in existence
that had color, and it ate 8 AA batteries in an hour.
It was six, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, 6. I can't keep track. I wasn't buying them. I was a baby.
Oh, where are you?
No, I don't know. I used to love the Game Gear.
The Game Gear was the shit. I mean, I know what you're talking about.
You see the size of the Micro. It's almost the size of the screen on the Game Gear itself. It's horrendous.
That looks like one of those knockoff things you'd buy in like...
It does, like a Tiger Electronic.
Exactly.
Like this big. Like.
Do you guys remember the Game Boy Micro? The tiny, tiny Game Boy that was like this big?
Oh, yeah.
Those are expensive as hell right now.
That's about the size of this thing.
These things look like beefed up Tamagotchis or Gigapets.
Yeah, so I stand by what I'm saying. There was nobody clamoring at the doors of Sega saying, listen, what we really want is a tiny, very, very tiny Game Gear that only has 3 games.
But how the screen looks smaller than cell phone screens. How are you going to enjoy any video game on this thing?
I don't know.
Maybe it has an HDMI port.
They had a whole bunch of extra VMU. Remember the carts from the Dreamcast? They had a whole bunch of those, and they were like, let's just slap more buttons on it, call it a Game Gear with a color screen, and we're done.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is the same size.
I know.
I remember a game for Game Gear. Can you guys name a game for Game Gear that you guys played aside from Sonic?
Batman.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, if I
Batman
said not...
Returns.
I think I only played Sonic on that thing because...
You guys have 2.
Because I just couldn't. My mom could not deal with how fast I was going through batteries, and eventually she just stopped giving me, and then she got really pissed when I started stealing the remote batteries.
See, Shinobi was awesome.
Yes.
Gunstar Heroes was like really, really good.
You know what was really good? What was really good on the Game Gear was Sonic. Sonic was really good.
Sonic was good on every console.
I liked it a lot. It was really good. All right, so we're gonna move on to some unfortunate delays. This article comes from Kotaku.com. EA postpones Madden NFL 21 reveal following nationwide protest against police violence. So their statement is, we stand with our African-American Black community and of friends, players, colleagues, and partners. The game publisher wrote in a statement yesterday, our immediate attention is on the actions we take to drive change against the unjust treatment and systematic bias that is plaguing the nation and our world. Set to come out later this year, Madden NFL 21 was first shown at Microsoft's Xbox X Series event last month, but only for a split second. EA now says it will find another time to talk about football. So, and on the heels of that, Roz sent me some tweets from both PlayStation's Twitter and IGN. PlayStation says, we have decided to postpone the PlayStation 5 event scheduled for June 4th. While we understand gamers worldwide are excited to see PS5 games, we do not feel like that is the right time now for celebration, and for now, we want to stand back and allow more important voices to be heard. IGN said, we stand in solidarity with the Black community and condemn racism out of respect for and in support of those rightfully demanding justice and change across the United States and the world. IGN will be delaying the launch of its Summer of Gaming main events until June 8th. Today, IGN is participating in Blackout Tuesday, which I'll talk about that in a minute because That's how I know I'm under a rock. A day of reflection, action, and commitment to following change. IGN will be driving donations to support the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, an organization that supports legal action and long-term change, including on our daily lives. New show, was that NG? Our sister company, Humble Bundle, has announced a $1 million fund dedicated to helping publish games by Black developers. This is a start, but we are committed to driving long-term change. We will have more updates on how we will continue to support the fight for justice. So, yeah, we've got game companies postponing their launches, their events.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Since then, there have been dozens more announcements of delays.
Now, and I don't want to be that guy, but are they being sincere or opportunistic?
There's no opportunities to be had here. This is kind of a general loss for them. You know, they're missing their window for advertising. They're missing their hype moment. It's not going to come later because everything is going to be packed in together. Like Cyberpunk pushed back their gameplay stream to June 24th or 25th, which means it's now going to share airtime with EA and a couple of other things. So there really isn't, much for them to gain.
I'm referring to more the court of public opinion.
And that's something else I was going to cover. I think
he can smell Simba.
Saying that what they're doing is insincere. A person can think that if they want to. It may be true. However, and I've been telling people this for the last few days, it doesn't matter if there's sincerity behind it. The message is what's important. And if more people say that message, more people will hear it and see it. And the outcome will be positive. That's why if you see somebody that you don't like supporting your cause, you embrace them. You don't say, we don't want your help.
That is true. That is a very good point. But yeah, so let's see as these this national situation, this national incident is actually affecting even the media now. That's how big this is. So let's carry on. Animation Invasion. It's Attack on Titan season 4 trailer review. Gents, I don't know if you saw it. I definitely did not, but I'm going to be sharing my screen and we're going to watch it together.
Yes, please.
And then see what happens. I have not watched season 3 though, so this is probably all spoilers of the yin yang. So we will see. Why is my thingy not giving me the option to share my?
I think it's on Hulu. Season 3.
That's what I hear too. That's what my offspring told me.
Pretty sure that's where I saw it. It was good. Enjoyed it.
So, all right, here we go. All I hear is typing. Oh, that's good animation. I like that. This has no subtitles.
I'll translate everything.
I was about to translate too, but go ahead.
All right, what's happening?
So there was a civil war.
Yes. Is that trench warfare?
Yes.
Yes. Is this a prequel?
This is Attack on Titan? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but it seems like it's a prequel.
That music is always so amazing.
Where else technology come from?
They've always had it.
俺にはわかる。お前たちは世界を救おうとした。そうなんだろう。うるさい。
But Japan's fascination with Hitler.
俺を死なせてくれないんだ。
There you go.
ユミンの出現から今日に至るまで、どれほどの命が巨
Yo,
人。
they Kendalled him though.
Oh shit, the Silver Surfer.
しかし近年、
He said Silver
その
Surfer.
平和思想は淘汰され、
Oh, that's
始
nice.
祖の巨人はパラディ島に住むある者に奪われました。その名はエレン・イエーガー。
Oh, this isn't a prequel.
What the hell is going on?
Look at a whole bunch of naked bodies.
The final
Final season.
Oh, right. I want to make it very clear that I have no idea what's going on.
Quick question: do you guys watch this dubbed or subbed?
I watched subbed, but I don't have the patience anymore to read while I watch my shows.
I've done both, but like for some reason, the last season I found much easier to watch it dubbed.
Yeah, I think it's because it's so freaking confusing.
You're getting older.
No, but the story, in my opinion, is getting so convoluted that like you're reading and trying to understand what the hell's going on.
Well,
And what I just saw for season 4, I'm just like, what happened in season 3? You know, I feel like Bros, I
can't hear you.
That's weird. So you got to watch season 3. It's I can't even begin to tell you what happened.
But I mean, I feel like the trailer I just looked at seems like they mashed 2 different shows together. Like the aesthetics.
I'm telling, like Flex, back me up on this. It's like
absolutely.
The trip of season 3 is batshit.
It is. It's pretty crazy. And honestly, I recommend you supplement with the manga. It's the same thing. It's just that it's at your pace. That's why season 3 was so dynamic that I was like, man, like it's kind of hard to read and like just piss in this, because I really enjoyed the animation from Attack on Titan.
Right.
So I watched season 3 both subbed, and then I watched it dubbed, and dubbed for me was just better because I was able to kind of focus more on what I was watching rather than reading. But man, you definitely have to watch season 3 if you haven't already.
I'll do it. I'll do it this weekend.
So
what's
a big deal about this season is it's a whole different studio making the show.
Okay.
So WIT Studios used to animate the show previously. I don't know if you noticed, the animation looked a little different this time. The character models look different.
That's why I'm saying, like, I was wondering what I was watching. That's why I asked.
It's being done by Mappo Studios, which was, right at the beginning. They actually made this trailer custom to release it. None of this is going to be, used in the actual TV show.
No way.
They may reanimate it later, but this is basically a series. You know what a bullshot is, right?
Yeah.
This is a series of bullshot animation, clips. All of this is custom for this trailer.
That's awesome.
Because it's still in like pre-production.
That's what I was wondering. Okay, so it's not coming out anytime soon.
I forgot what the release date is, but they're working on it as we speak.
Oh man, I thought this meant like it was coming out like.
It was kind of a situation where it changed studios, and the new studio wanted to make sure that the fans knew it's in good hands, and
okay.
So they released.
I see. It's like okay. So hopefully the quality stays the same.
Hopefully it does. It could be a situation where it's like the OVA, so it's like a very high quality, short little clip, and then it comes out and it's
you're like,
it's animated like a Pokemon anime.
Listen, I hope not. I hope not at all. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. It makes me want to see season 3 to understand what I was looking at. But that wasn't any spoiler for me because I don't understand what's happening. Garbanzo, you wanted to say something?
No. It looks fantastic. I haven't seen season 3 either, so I'm looking forward to it now.
Cool. Squeezy bits.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of. You guys remember when the Full Metal Alchemist went to like the other side of the gate and it was in the real world?
Yeah.
That's kind of what this trailer reminded me of.
Which Full Metal? You talking about Brotherhood?
I don't know which one's the
He's
one that didn't
about
follow the manga.
Shambhala, the movie.
That one, the movie. Yeah.
I never saw any of the movies.
What's really interesting is the creator of Attack on Titan is kind of a fascist, so he has a big heart on for like that very much 1930s and 40s Germanic style of governance.
What's going on with like Japan and their like fascination with like Hitler type shit?
Oh man, that's a politically sticky conversation. But remember, they didn't have a negative relationship with Germany during the war, and after the war, Germany had their Truth and Reconciliation situation where they came to realize, hey, we're the bad guys, and ever since then they've been fighting to correct that. And Japan just like shrugged their shoulders and were like, I don't know what you're talking about.
The victor writes the history.
I don't know. In an alternative world, I mean, from what I've researched, Japan ended up taking over the west coast of U.S. and had really, really like Cold War tensions.
You saw that documentary?
Yeah.
What if?
So just say no. The Man in the High Castle. Great show. Yeah. Great show. It was
Okay, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
Honestly, Japan's like a Switzerland that actually participated in the war. They shouldn't have participated in the first place.
You mean instigated?
Yeah. Well, my bad. No.
Allegedly.
You know. I mean, if like a white guy tells like an Asian guy to do something, they're more likely to do something. Like, oh my god, you have big penis.
What?
Last thing I'll
South Park reference.
because history's
South
a
Park.
good thing to know about. Japan had been fucking around in Southeast Asia and East Asia since like 1890 when they invaded Korea for the first time. So nobody told them to invade anybody. They've been fucking around.
Oh yeah,
for
they
a
have their
long
own
time.
penises, okay? Squeeze a bit, so be real,
Yeah.
okay? And they are sufficient. They are sufficient length. All right, we're gonna move on to Gadgets R Us.
The type of Asian women you're into?
AR tool to help you better visualize proper social distancing. So basically, it's an app that you can actually that uses your camera to measure your social distancing, how close you are to something. It kind of reminds me of the backup cams on cars. It's literally the exact same thing. So that's kind of
beep
cool.
if someone gets too close.
I don't know if it beeps. It probably says, hold up now, or
Says back up.
you could probably
Beep beep warning.
You know what?
Biohazard
I
symbol.
guarantee
Move,
that
bitch.
I think you're onto something, really. Imagine if everyone installed this app and you install, like, you have your friends list that, like, okay, they can be close, and then everyone else that's not your friend, their phone automatically beeps, and your phone automatically beeps when they're next to somebody.
You could probably add people that you're allowed to be in your personal space. This would be a great personal space app. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen, I can see how this can be easily just put it on top of a drawer with some electrical arms, and next thing you know, everyone's getting zapped within 6 feet.
This is
a bad.
The augmented reality tool is called Sodar, and there's a website you can go. There's also QR code you can go to. You can go to @exp with Google, and it goes right there at their Twitter, and you can check it out. I actually did download the app. I meant to test it out to give you guys a full review, and then I completely forgot about it until just now. So it's somewhere there. I gotta be one, yeah, right. So it's there. I think it's a great tool. It's instead of people being all I can see myself being in line and somebody saying you're too close, and I'll say, no, dog, look, I'm 6 feet away. So I think it would be good because there's a lot of tensions. Like at work right now, people, they're very iffy when you get too close, and
it's good for supermarkets.
That too. So
oh God, yes, please. And then there's arrows on the ground for a reason. Please stop that mess. If you can't go down.
Listen,
here's the thing. Listen, I'm a fat guy, and sometimes I need those cookies, but I still.
I'm not defending anybody.
I just pointed the arrow.
I've been guilty of going down the wrong aisle because this way. It's not part of you're used to walking in up and down any aisle you want.
Sure.
You're not paying attention. You're not looking down. You're looking at which aisle. And I've done it actually many a times by accident. And when I do it, I'll be like, dang, So it's not part of our routine. We're used to walking up and down the aisles willy nilly.
But you self-correct.
Eventually, yes, and I do. I've done an about face like jerked myself around. But so I'm not gonna condemn anybody who's accidentally doing it because it's true. You're just not. You're really focused on looking up which aisle, and you walk down the aisle. And
it's not just you, man. It's not like
it happens to the most.
It happened to me like a month ago in Publix. I was walking down the aisle and I see some guy coming the other way, and I'm like, what's this motherfucker do? And then I look down, and I'm the asshole.
You're going.
I'm the asshole. So I was thinking, I was just in my head, I was like, this bitch ass, he sees me coming down this aisle, and he's trying to infect. And I just see it like right in front of him, that big ass arrow pointing at my dumb ass. So I just turned around and just ate my shame.
Yeah. No, I actually, when I exit the wrong way, I actually get a little self-conscious. I'm like, oh my god, I did it again. So it happened to me plenty of times. Yes, Garbanzo.
So that QR code is that only for
Android?
Uh-huh.
Google? Android?
Yeah, it's straight.
Mm-hmm.
It's only available on Chrome on Android devices. That's it.
Oh, perfect. I have a OnePlus 7 for sale, guys.
Hey, awesome. I'll just do it on my Pixel.
I have one of those for sale too.
Sodar does not work on iOS, Mac iOS, or Windows-based gadgets. Okay.
Apparently only Android users are worthy of the assistance.
Well,
that's all Google cares about.
You would think Apple by now would jump on the bandwagon. That's a great idea. So we're gonna move on to Open Mic.
Open Mic.
Thank you. Ruby Rose said she stayed silent for now about the reason why she left Batwoman. Now, I didn't cover this originally. I should have, but Ruby Rose left Batwoman after one season, and the show is still going to carry on as Batwoman. They're going to recast not her role. They're gonna bring somebody else from the LGBTQ plus exclamation point community, but I don't really know yet if in what role and how it's going to be called Batwoman. But she made her. Where's her reasons? I was there somewhere. I lost it. Where's her reasons? You guys keep talking. Talk about it. Does anybody watch the CW shows or no?
Man, I don't watch the CW shows anymore. The last one I saw was like season 1 of The Flash, and I gave up because I really enjoyed the Arrow, like the first few seasons when he was just killing dudes, just
right.
You know, just he was just basically Murder Man, and then it just became the what is it, the Felicity show.
Oh God, yeah. But you know what it is though? That's the fandom. They were liking what they were seeing, and that's the price you pay. Which
for being on CW.
That too, but it's also a double-edged sword because she was never meant to be more than just some side character. They just liked the chemistry between the two, and the writers heard the fans and just kind of kept them pushing her further and further up. So it's both a win for us fans, we are affecting the creative change, but also it kind of ruined the point of the show in my opinion. So as you're saying,
fans invariably suck. We are the worst. We don't nobody should listen to us like that.
I agree.
A creator should have a vision, and stick to the vision. And then maybe if the overwhelming consensus is, hey, maybe you shouldn't have a guy who's got 40 years of history, turn to a hologram on a salty planet and then not do that. I get it. But, other than that.
Okay, so I just skimmed through it. Basically, what she's not telling us the reason why she left. She's saying she stayed silent about why she is really leaving. It's her choice.
Yeah, but there were some reports of some friction on set at the lower down towards the bottom of the article. That's always people always allege that kind of stuff either way.
The friction on set, long hours, that she wasn't. They claim that she wasn't prepared for what it is to be on a show like this. It's grueling. It's hard. So, but
she's a movie actress. She wasn't a lot of people actually, you brought it up just now. They don't transition to TV well.
No,
it's a real deal. It's like going from being a contract worker to being 9 to 5 daily grind.
Right.
And
so it's probably what she probably didn't enjoy it. So, but it's a shame. I didn't really like Batwoman. I don't like Supergirl. I have a guilty pleasure with Legends of Tomorrow. The Flash was my favorite show for a while. After Arrow kind of lost its way, and Arrow, of course, is what got me into it from get-go. I loved the Batman Begins feel of Arrow when it first started. So
what about Titans?
I haven't watched it because I don't have the DC universe or whatever it's called.
I'll let you borrow my subscription.
Oh, okay. I like that.
On a hard drive.
You know what I do like is the not Cyborg is in it. Come on.
Well, Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
That's so good.
Patrol was so good.
Did you finally see the first season of Swamp Thing?
Ooh.
You mean the only season?
Yeah, only season.
You mean the show that was canceled immediately after release?
Immediately after.
The second episode, it was canceled.
Guys,
but did you see it?
It was still a very sensitive subject.
Immediately.
So I don't know. Nobody said it. Has anybody actually seen it?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He saw it.
I loved it.
Oh, okay. Because it's amazing, and I really wish you guys would see it.
Yeah, especially how they hit the
Why was it
Devil.
canceled?
Can I borrow your subscription?
Because Warner Brothers wanted to hit a different market. They wanted it to be friendlier and a joyful show, but there was too much gravitas.
It's a dark character.
Gravitas.
But
because they had Titans,
right.
it's dark, it's grim dark.
Right.
And then they had Doom Patrol, which is, kind of straddling the line between funny and grimdark. And then they wanted a show that would not be grim at all. And I don't know why they greenlit Swamp Thing.
Yeah, that's a really dark story.
There's nothing happy in the Swamp Thing story.
I don't know. Well, that's unfortunate, but cancel immediately after. So we're moving on to Mark Hamill came out of voice acting retirement to play Skeletor for the Masters of the Universe. This article comes from, my article is missing. Oh, there it is. Comicbooks.com. This is the Kevin Smith shocked the pop culture world when he announced that he would be helping bring back He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. with a brand new animated series. So Mark Hamill will
That's
be
awesome.
lending his voice talents to the main antagonist of Skeletor. Now that is awesome.
Yeah, so Skeletor's
I
gonna sound like
know
the Joker.
nothing. I know nothing about He-Man and Masters of the Universe, the cartoon, not like that. Most I know is Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren, whatever. That's the only thing I know about it, which is really, campy and fun to me. So why the fact that Mark Hamill is actually going to voice Skeletor? I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was,
watch.
yeah. We'll
Something
see.
was like- I think it was like a recap of what happened before, because this is supposed to continue that show from decades ago. So
Watch the show, man. And they can't bring the original voice actor back. He's 90.
well, you'd be surprised. What of Skeletor?
Oh yeah, Alan Oppenheimer is 90 years old. He can't pull it off.
We don't know. He probably can do it. Anybody else excited about Mark Hamill coming out of retirement?
Me.
Yo.
I wonder why he retired from voice acting to begin with. Did anybody know why? Because I mean, he was doing well with it. It's lucrative.
He's loaded.
Because he's doing well.
He's
That's
He's
why.
loaded.
He doesn't need it.
because Star Wars made three new movies, and he made was able to.
Well, no, he retired before Star Wars though, right? Because he stopped playing the Joker in DC.
Yeah, but he was still doing other stuff.
Yeah.
like what?
He
What
retired.
else was he doing?
Um,
The only other thing that I know of,
He did cameos here and there.
I know he
Yeah,
did. I mean, he did the Dark Crystal, of course, but I mean that's But other than that, so is it he's on the whole Rick Moranis level where he just doesn't need it anymore? The residuals are enough to keep him going.
I think
Oh,
beyond
man.
Rick Moranis, he's
Yeah,
more
he's
like
well
Chevy
beyond.
Chase.
No, Chevy Chase stopped working because he sucks.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the residuals.
Tell me how you really
of
feel.
So many
Oh,
movies.
okay. Yeah. I gotcha.
Okay. I just found it weird. 'Cause I mean, if you
But while you're on top, yo.
I would figure, you'd continue, but that's just me. We're moving on to HBO Max is a mess, but the Snyder Cut exists and will be announced. So HBO Max was supposed to launch a new jam-packed streaming service of wildest dreams, and HBO now revamped essentially with all of HBO's library and Warner Media's vast catalog. But despite the fanfare, HBO Max launched this week with a muddled mess of confusing brand identities that neither honors HBO's high bar legacy nor gives a clear idea of what Max is trying to be. Yes, it's a mess from what I heard. I heard that things are mislabeled. I heard Darflex, you're silhouetted, which is interesting. So, but I think, and this is my opinion, even though they say AT&T did it, that because of this mess, they decided to greenlight Zack Snyder's The Justice League in a like a miniseries capacity, $30 million, I believe, to complete his vision, and they're courting the cast to come back for some reshoots. So screw the Max part, but what about the Justice League Zack Snyder cut? What do you guys feel about that?
I'm super stoked. It's been rumored and so on and so forth, but now what I really want to see is the cat's butthole cut.
What?
God. Cats. It originally had buttholes on all the cats.
Oh, well, what? Why?
Yeah, they CG. Apparently, they wanted
Why
to
did that
be
movie
realistic.
exist?
Yeah.
Because what movie came out that was a Broadway thing that kind of did well? I don't know. It's not Chicago.
Moulin Rouge.
Was it
Yeah,
Moulin?
that was a good movie.
Something came out because I know that Cats was inspired by another Broadway show that was trending.
Cats.
The Book of Mormon?
No, not by by another Broadway show that was
Rent.
I want to use Rent.
La La Land?
Rent? That was turned into a movie.
Yeah,
But
La La
Rent-
Land.
Was it Rent?
Was it La
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 Land?
was it La La Land?
Team
Was that the
America?
last one?
No,
Team
they
America.
were in production before. It took a long time to make.
But no, I know they were inspired by something. That's the reason why they thought it was gonna be a big cash cow. I don't know why they thought that. Has anybody watched Cats?
Les Miserables?
I've seen the original.
The original what?
The original actual
Stage
Yeah.
the stage performance. I got my mother a DVD of it because they very, very rarely ever sold the DVDs. Usually it was a PBS if you donated X amount of money, but I did one time and I got her it because it's her favorite musical.
Really?
Really?
Maybe
Huh.
Roz has it on hard drive
Really?
subscription.
No. Guaranteed.
Roz has it. He does.
But speaking about things coming back from most unexpected places, did you guys know that Swamp Thing actually got acquired by CW? Also, they're going to be replaying it in the fall on their CW DC lineup, and they're already talking about possibly doing 2 additional seasons as it was originally set when they were on DC Universe.
They should do that with Firefly.
So hashtag the Swamp Thing saved. Is that what we're gonna do?
Swamp Thing is back.
That's unfortunate.
Swamp ass.
They should put it on freeform and call it a day. What
Wait,
did
what
you
happened?
say?
What happened to the DC?
Ooh.
What were we talking about? Henry Cavill?
Yes, we're back to
Cavill.
Zack Snyder's The Justice League. Who's excited about that?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Just because I like Jason Momoa. I have a very questionable.
Man
Yeah,
crush
I'll just
every
stop right
day.
there.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I really, I wish Zack Snyder hadn't shit the bed, but I'll watch it.
Should have been when? In Batman v Superman.
Yeah, Batman v Superman. And,
I liked Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was.
I think Man of Steel is one of the best Superman movies ever made.
I thought it was really good. I don't know why
Very
I
well done.
didn't like it.
I
Besides,
think I'm gonna watch it just because JLA has so much potential. Maybe give it a second chance to resurrect, because I guess recently I watched like some DC like animated cartoons,
Oh, they're so
and
good.
I'm hoping
So
yeah
good.
they're amazing. But I'm hoping that maybe some of that magic flowed over to.
No,
I mean, give it a chance. You gotta give it
Look,
a chance. Plus,
you got to understand how much Warner Brothers hates success. They gave Justice League Dark to Guillermo del Toro. I don't know if you guys know who Guillermo del Toro is. He's an excellent director.
No, who is he?
He directed The Shape of... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he wanted to direct Justice League Dark and Mountains of Madness, but anyway. But during pre-production, they pulled him off directing that movie. And I don't know if you guys know what Justice League Dark is, but it's basically the Justice League that deals with, magic. It's,
I see.
John Constantine, Zatanna,
Amazing. Oh, God.
et cetera, et cetera.
oh, I can tell you don't watch my YouTube stuff. I just did a review on their last movie.
Yeah,
Fake
that's
news.
great.
Fake news.
Good.
Fake news.
It was great.
All right, cool. So we're gonna move on to what we know about Peacock's new
Watch my
Battlestar
shit.
Galactica series, and I love Battlestar Galactica. I'm just gonna run through just the headers on it because it's really nothing. This article really is nothing. It comes from TVinsider.com. Watch it. Sam Ismail is on board as executive producer. It is inspired by the 2004 series, but not a remake. So that's something that I like to hear. I don't know what that means exactly. But it's inspired and it's gonna be adjacent. Maybe it's not strictly a reboot. So the reboot, it's gonna be like not even a reimagining, but I guess a tangential story. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do with this show. What? Right. I have no idea what you're saying, Raz.
Oh, yeah. I was saying the show had some really fucked up timelines, so I can see them just having, like you said, some parallel shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I mean, where would you parallel? I guess maybe survivors on the 12 colonies, maybe tell that story, because you really can't tell. I mean, unless you're gonna say, you know what it's like to me. It's like, this is how I am. Star Wars. When A New Hope started, you were like, yes, all the Jedi were pretty much dead, and what you assumed was that Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Luke were the only ones that really survived. But as the Disney era comes in, and even in the expanded universe, more and more Jedi survived, and it became less special that Obi-Wan and Yoda survived, and then they trained Luke, and then Luke did it on his own, kind of thing. So I don't want to do this like this. They already had the Pegasus? Pegasus survive, and Galactica survive, and then their posse. I don't want you to tell me another Battlestar survived.
Have you seen his other show, Sam Ismail?
No, I don't know who that is.
He created this other show called Mr. Robot, which
I heard about that. I never watched it though.
Incredible show, probably
amazing.
One of the best shows like ever at this point. That show was all about upending your expectations and screwing around with your perceptions of what is real. So I can totally see him applying that same mentality and that same, I guess, methodology to Battlestar Galactica, which itself kind of lends itself to it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, as long as because I'm concerned. I would have preferred a reboot or a remake as opposed to messing with the world that was already established. It was really good. Even Caprica for me was really good. So that's my only concern. Even though Ronald D. Moore gave him his blessing and said, yeah, go for it. But so it won't be a limited series. It's going to be a long running series apparently for BSG fans. It'll be a political allegory like its predecessor, and no casting has been announced so far. But so that's all we know so far about the new Battlestar Galactica series. I am dying for this show to come out. I need more of this in my life, especially if it's going to be in the world. It's funny because my son just went through my entire DVD library and pulled out all of Battlestar Galactica, including Capricorn, all the movies, and even the web series. And we're going to run a marathon on that sucker this weekend because he's all of a sudden finally now appreciates what the show has after I showed him the miniseries. So, anybody else? Battlestar Galactica.
I honestly, and I know you're going to hurt me for this one, but I've never seen it.
I know it's neither as Flex.
Well, me neither, but I mean, me and Vibe we had pre-Corona plans to binge all this with some wings and
yeah, we did with the camera and everything. Especially now that I have camera up, and we can still consider that and just
Why don't you guys just like pick up the phone and talk to each other like while you're sitting in bed and just watch it together that way?
Oh,
no,
that's cute.
This is supposed to be a half bromance, half inebriated reviews type of thing. So it'll be like a long series.
So it's not like a 1980s Gossip Girls?
Huh? Yeah, we need it for money. we need to throw it up there to get you guys to go to our Patreon.
Could be Gossip Guys.
Give us money.
Gossip Boys, yeah.
Gossip Guys sounds
Gossip
good.
Pronouns.
We already have our own side thing. It's called Smoothie Talk, which I'm going to change the name.
I like it.
Oh, you guys can add me to Squeezy Talk.
Or Boba.
What? Squeezy Boba Talk? It's so freaking funny. All right, we're gonna move on to Central Park, the official trailer review. Apple Plus new animated comedy series Central Park from Bob's Burgers I guess I messed that up. Co-creator. Central Park follows the Tillermans, a family that live in Central Park. Owen, the park manager, and Paige, his journalist wife, raised their kids Molly and Cole in the world's most famous park, while fending off hotel heiress Betsy Brenaham and her long-suffering assistant Helen, who would love nothing more than to turn the park into condos. It'll premiere with 3 episodes at Apple TV on May 29th, so it already did, with subsequent episodes being released weekly. So I'm going to throw on this sexy trailer, and we will review it. Here we go. I love trailers. See, I download these things now, so I don't have to go on YouTube. It's fantastic.
Hello, everybody. I love mornings in the park, the light through the trees, the birds and the squirrels. It's Central Park, it's a haven, it's a jewel. Sir, do not beat up a statue.
That was Josh Glad.
Lives Turtlehead Day. More than Graffiti Removal Week? Oh, I do love that.
I should get going.
Who's my special boy?
Me.
Look at you. You are my special boy.
Too bad you can't just stick him back up there, huh?
What?
Nothing.
I hate that park. It's just a patch of dirt and weeds. And we're gonna buy it. We're gonna do the biggest real estate deal in the history of the world.
Quick question over here, Betsy. Are you wearing a dog?
It's perfectly normal.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little distracting.
No, stop!
Someone needs to protect the park. It's impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
Did your voice just get really weird?
Central Park!
How many times did you text him? What would you say is normal? Twice? Oh, no. He's fine.
Throw this. See if you can get it into the park. Did you get it?
Right where I wanted it.
Where else can your son and daughter
I knew it.
splash a dirty hot dog water?
Give us a quick strut. One for Mama. Come on.
Are we dancing? Yeah, we're dancing.
Is that dancing?
Gotta knock these.
Oh my God, it's Stanley Tucci.
Here at the midpoint of park that's so central. The name's not that clever, but screw it, whatever. It's central in my heart.
I'm watching as soon as we stop playing tonight. As soon as we stop recording, I'm watching this.
Managing the park. That's gonna go great for you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nerd.
You have Apple TV?
Yeah, when you buy a new Apple, when you buy a new phone, they give it to you for a year.
Really? Okay, what was that, Ross?
I'm sorry. They're just like, please fucking buy your shit. Like, somebody watch this.
Have you watched? Can I ask? Have you watched the not the network, the one with the Garbanzo? Have you watched the
Talking about Scene?
No. Damn it! It's called the network, or it's called not the newsroom. It's called something. I really want to watch it. The show.
Yeah. Oh, the one with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
I've turned on Apple TV twice. I've had the phone for quite some time.
Great, good stuff. All right, we're
But
moving
now
on.
I have a reason to use it. Listen, Apple
Turn it
Store,
on
send me free stuff.
3 more times.
Well, good. Well, since you're the only person who has
I am going to watch it. I am going to review it as well as Scene. I really, really want to see Scene.
Yes, watch that review first because none of us have it. None of us are going to watch it. So, but Apple give us free stuff. So, moving on, Pokemon Battle Academy turns the trading card game into a board game. This article comes from Kotaku.com, and I'm not going to read it, but I briefly, this is great. I love the Pokemon card game when I was a kid. It was fun for me, and then became annoying. But I love board games. So the fact that it's turning the card game into a board game, I'm actually gonna get this. I would actually love to, post Corona, for us all to get together and play this with a lot of drinks and record this. I think this would be really fun. Several cameras, and we all just sit down and play this game together.
Podcast over a board game.
Huh?
Podcast over a board game.
Yeah, I'm down.
We could do that, or do a live. Could you imagine us doing a live? We haven't done a live in a while, so that'd be fun. But just throwing it out there, it's called Pokemon Battle Academy. It's the board game for the card game. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, you with your deck there. That's what she said, and it kind of reminds me of.
I think this is the second one they made.
Is it?
Yeah, because they made Master Trainer back in like 2000.
Huh? I don't remember that. Oh, I was a senior in high school. I would not have touched it with a 10-foot pole.
But 1995. All right. Our last article for this podcast: one Japanese bus company's solution to travel in the COVID-19 era. I don't know if you guys brought up this link, but it's.
I have.
It's probably
it's awesome.
It's hilarious.
Everyone's in a baby carriage.
Everybody's in is basically with a fly or bug net around them, and
this is so great.
So you're wearing.
I love it, dude.
You put over the baby carriage like hoodie that you get in a carriage, and then you pull down I mean, it's ingenious. I'll say that. I'll say that. I mean,
Give it to the Japanese who already wear masks all the time.
Right.
Like, no, this is not enough.
Right. Could you imagine?
We're gonna take it one step further.
But if I have to be real about it, though, that looks like it would be a peaceful sleep. If you were to recline that sucker and just like lay back, I would do it to take a nap. Hell yeah. So you guys gotta check this out. The article comes from Kotaku.com, and you guys need to stop talking via text while we're doing the podcast. Drive me nuts. But lastly. And this comes at the request of Darflex. We're going to discuss Space Force, the Netflix original series. Space Force is a workplace comedy that centers around a group of people tasked with establishing the sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces, the United States Space Force. It was a show. Darflex.
Okay, so I think maybe, I don't know, before I go into it, well... What did you guys expect the show was going to be? Just very brief. Very brief.
Michael Scott goes to space.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was kind of thinking. Yeah. My head was kind of very much like, this is The Office, but in space. And
kind of.
I was thinking very much of a parody kind of situation,
Did you see the cast? That is an excellent cast for parody movies. I expected something genuinely like fall out of my chair funny. Like you said, The Office, Michael Scott goes to space. The trailer did not do us any favors at all.
I had no expectations. When I saw the trailer, I was just like, oh, okay.
The trailers made the show seem like it had way more quirky hijinks than the reality of the situation.
Maybe they're saving it for next season.
I mean, I wouldn't compare this show to The Office or like Parks and Rec or something. Like going into it, that's not what I expected. I just expected satire, which I think the show itself did a pretty good job at like getting those stereotypical military things and making it funny in a sense. Like they addressed the whole, don't gender me shit and everything else. I thought that was pretty funny. I liked how relaxed it was, which that's how the Air Force is. That's why I thought it was funny too. The Air Force is pretty relaxed when it comes to command. So I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was interesting because like I've been hearing about the Space Force since I was in the Marine Corps. Now that was 2012 was the last time I was in there. I mean, because it's been part of the Air Force such a long time. I was just excited to see something like this, and I thought it was funny. It was like okay, let me sit down and watch this. Just I didn't think it was going to be an outstanding show for The Office. Like I said, it wasn't Parks and Recs. I did enjoy it only I think because I think the reason why I enjoyed it more than you guys is just how relative it was. That's probably it. And I think those little jokes, might seem kind of dull, but they say, "Oh, yeah."
So they're inside. So they're inside jokes for those who have served.
I think there was a lot of inside jokes because typically when you watch a military satire comedy movie, a lot of it is shit you never seen in the military. But this was all stuff you see in the military. I'm like, how did they know that? And I think they did.
That doesn't make me feel very confident about our armed forces.
Of course,
okay.
But bro, if you go and look at my old YouTube stuff, the stupid shit, I had a whole section called "Your Tax Dollars at Work." But
that's why you were discharged. I get you honorably, of course.
Yeah, well, I was discharged honorably.
Just say it.
Hey,
it's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
No big deal. But 2 Purple Hearts. But all right, so
that's a lie. Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah, bro.
If you get injured, you get a Purple Heart. That's how it works.
I got shot once and blown up 3 times. I mean, I think that merits a Purple Heart.
Yeah.
But you get Purple Hearts getting shot at? But I mean, isn't that what you?
No, not getting shot at.
Taking damage.
The bullet went inside.
Yes.
Okay.
If you lose HP, you get a Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, we love penetration.
Yes, so just briefly, the show is it's not a great show. I did enjoy it because of those little things that I thought were pretty nudge for a military person. I honestly agree with Roz. I was definitely looking forward to something a lot better with seeing someone like fucking Steve Carell, John Malkovich. Man,
what happened to John Malkovich?
I just want him to reprise his role as a Russian card player for one moment.
What I want to know is what happened because wasn't he a respectable actor once before? When did he start dropping? Because I think ever since Transformers, he hasn't been right. That's what I feel like because I'm just like, why is he in this role? Why is he?
He's always been weird, man.
He's always been weird, but in good roles though. I mean, I just don't know. I was just whenever I saw him on screen, I said, why are you doing this to yourself? That's all I thought about. I just didn't feel like this role was. I would love to ask him, why did this role call to you? What about it?
Maybe he just felt like bullshitting.
Maybe.
I don't think the money. I think maybe he just wanted to bullshit. I mean, again, the show is pure satire, not at its greatest. I mean, look at the AOC and the Pelosi characters. Not great, but again, another little nudge that I enjoyed. So I recommend this show if you have the time to just sit down and watch something.
Everybody has the time now.
Yeah, but I mean,
I work quite a bit.
But for sure, I'm not going to recommend this show. I wouldn't recommend it like I recommended The Dark Crystal, like I recommended Game of Thrones, like I recommended any other shows.
Those are like genre specific. They actually have stories and points. I mean, it's just so the exact opposite.
Hey, I'll tell you, they has a point too. Boots on the Moon, 2024.
Yeah.
Boots on the Moon.
Boots on the Moon.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. The only time I really, really laughed, and I mean really laughed, spoiler alert, was when the Chinese rover rolled over the American flag. And then backed up on. That was the only time I laughed so hard because it was so funny to me how casual they did it. They just roll over it and backed up. That was the most genuine laugh it got for me. So other than that, I kind of just, for me, I was watching a mediocre show while playing a mediocre game because I was playing Dark Crystal Tactics while I was watching. Man. Yes, I was torturing myself.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Did you have your balls in a vice too? Like, how far did you go?
Torturing myself. It was the worst weekend ever. I watched that.
What are you playing right now? What are you playing right now?
So right now I'm still playing Tactics. I gotta beat it. I paid $20 for it. I gotta play it.
Just you could have returned it for a refund. You could have refunded it.
You refund digitals when?
Yeah, you have. I think it's 24 hours to refund. No,
Damn.
5 hours to refund it, I think.
Well, I should have. I really wish I did.
Sure
I'm
did. Just
really
throw it
spent
away.
that
There's a
money on Persona
Listen, man,
5.
you have a finite amount of time left in life. Don't
I
throw it
do.
away on this game.
Unfortunate. Anybody else with Space Force?
I'm not gonna lie. I've watched the series twice. I really
Squeezy
enjoyed.
bits.
I
Squeezy
really,
bits.
yes, I really. I mean, I don't
Squeezy.
like how like everyone's shoving like their political view in my face.
He's Filipino, bro.
Yeah, but I
So,
really
like,
like
the Navy's inside
the
of him.
idea of like Steve Carell and going to space and John Malkovich. That relationship between Steve Carell and John Malkovich was excellent, dude. Like it was great. It was the greatest part of the show, and that's almost enough for me to be like, let me, I like that. I guess I don't have many friends outside of these walls.
Yeah.
So like that relationship was enough for me to watch the show again.
I think his relationship with his daughter, his insufferable daughter, was enough to just destroy any other relationship that he has. Even with because that drove me nuts. She's the worst character that I've seen in media in such a long time. I can't stand her character, and that's another thing. I just couldn't do it.
I don't know what the point of her is.
The point of her is that they're making it okay that adults are chasing after a 16, 17-year-old, and it's okay about it because she's playing a minor, and she's being talked to by two different enlisted airmen or spacemen.
It's a military base. It's actually allowed.
16 is
the age of consent. Yeah.
Okay, well they should have said that because I was like, why is this normal? She's a minor. She said she's a minor.
Romeo and Juliet love.
And they're letting them talk, and I'm just like, wait a minute now. Why is this happening? Why is he not freaking out about it? So, yeah. Roz, anything?
Nah. Hard pass on that.
I like that.
Garbanzo. Yeah, I gave you my input on this one.
Garbanzo.
I actually enjoyed it. Did I think it could? It was. Did I want to see more? Yeah, but we'll see what happens in season 2. I'm not lying. I know they're gonna get a second season. They've already made it a lot farther than Swamp Thing, and he's getting 3 seasons.
Listen, Swamp Thing is not getting revived. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't CW will revive that and then make it amazing.
No, we don't want a CW version of that.
You don't. No. You don't. It's gonna have it's gonna
be Dawson's Creek with Swamp Thing.
Oh, you know what? Then I want to see it. I don't want to wait. Right, Dawson's Creek lasted for a while, so you want to just a Dawson's Creek Swamp Thing.
That's the guy with the Mighty Ducks guy on it, right?
Who?
The guy from Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
It's Jay and Silent Bob.
What?
Yes, that one.
You lost me completely. And that's it for Keep of the Geek Bros.
The goodies.
You can check us out on Geek Bros at 0 GEKBR0S. That's IG and Twitter. Geek Bros at 0 at yahoo.com. Email us. Thank you, man. And everybody else, you guys, we'll read it. We'll talk about it as long as, not too long and I'm not, bored. Facebook.com/Geek Bros. That's GEKBR0S. Listen to us every Wednesday. WeBeGeeksPC.com. We should totally hit Rick and Morty season 4 episode 10. I didn't watch it, that's why I didn't review it, but we will review it next week, and we will review the whole season together. I got you. Okay. Send that in.
What kind of geek channel are you running here, bro?
Listen, oh my god, there's so much going on in the world, so much more important things going on in the world. Rick and Morty can wait a week.
Yeah, but
back me up, Roz.
Swamp Thing?
Oh, for sure. But I haven't seen episode 10 yet, so let's leave it to next episode.
And of course you can watch this, and of course, I'm being honest with you, the podcast is becoming more of a long web series than it is a podcast. You want to watch us, youtube.com/Vibrev Studios. Shameless promotion, gents, before we get out of here. Lex?
Absolutely. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Darth_Flex. Boom.
Okay. Garbanzo.
You can find me on the Twitter and the Gram on BEANTKE278. That's BeanTKE278.
It's the Roz.
Find me on Instagram, Raziel, and Facebook too. Just look my name up, Raziel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's actually posting now. Roz is alive on Facebook. Check it out.
Oh shit, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's alive on Facebook. Can you believe it?
I thought that was ISIS for a second.
Not today, ISIS. Not today.
Yeah, not today. Not today, ISIS.
Excuse me.
Yo. Oh, shoot. My bad. My turn. Squeezy Bits. Look me up on Google. SQUEEZYBITS. I don't know why no one's ever chose that name. Squeezy Bits. It's so kind of sticky.
Yeah, because it's Squeezy Bits.
Yeah. Look me up. I have YouTube, Instagram, and yeah, that's it.
I can't
Squeezy
believe
bit.
normalize it. When I first started saying squeezy bits, I was always cringing a little bit inside. Now it feels normal. Of course, you can find me Vibe. That's VibeRev Studios, VibeRevStudios. That's Instagram, Twitter.com, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you want to be. So thank you for tuning in to Keepin' the Geek Bros podcast. And remember, geeking out still sounds this good.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.